Sahayak. It's a Sanskrit word which means aid or something of assistance. The tool is made to facilitate people working, analyzing data made available in Excel or CSV file. They will now be able to load the data and run simple to complex queries on the data from one or multiple files. So let's check a small demo and understand the capabilities of this tool. The journey starts by visiting the home page of Sparrow Solutions. Link is provided in the description of this video. Here we get the download button of the tool. There are two versions of the tool, one for Windows users and the other for Linux users. Click on the required button to download the respective version. While it is downloading, down below in the home page, we get to see a rolling cube capturing some of the basic features of the application. Roll it and check them out. More below, we have the testimonial section where we get to see many IT professionals are saying about the application, starting from developer to experts and industry leaders. That's it on the home page. Now let's move on to the application. But stay along with us to hear more about the best features of this application. If you are on a Linux environment, you need to provide execution permission on the downloaded file. Is copy the downloaded file to a desired location and double click on it to get started. Here we have moved the file and provided the application with the execution permission as we are on a Linux environment. On first time execution, another file is created in the same location, which is sahayak.db. We have another folder over here which contains several data we have collected to show the demo. So let's start with the demo. We have multiple files over here. We will try to load one of these files into the tool. So let's go to the file, load file, and move on to find the repository folder. Select the file, any of it, say pesticides we do. So file name and its location is prompted to us as we select it. Click OK. Immediately we are asked to fill in the table name by which the data of the file will be loaded into our tool. Put in a file name, table name. For us, let's take pesticides. Click OK, and immediately we are prompted that the table is created. Click OK. The pesticide table is shown in the browser section. Now, expanding it, we will see all the column names from the data file and now in the table. So this canvas is where we write our queries. Now let's try to write a query like select star from table name. So there are two ways to write the table name. Either you write it, type it manually, or there is a shortcut which we will talk about. Like what we need to do is select the table name in the browser section and then right click on it, and it will immediately appear on the canvas, query canvas. So there it is. And now to execute the query, we have to select the query and then go to the run to execute it. So selection of the query or the portion of the query is very important. Now in run we have run query, run it, and you will get the result data set in the below section. So there is another way to execute the queries, and let's see how it is. Say we again take a domain, say for now we will right click on it and select the domain and right click on it, makes it appear in the canvas. Now again right click and we get pesticides. select the query and press Ctrl Enter. There it is. The resultant data set is shown in the below section. Isn't that fine? Making work life more easier. Now let's select another file from the repository and try to load it. Same steps. File, go to the repository, select the file and load it. This time we will name the file as rainfall. Table created. So we have two tables now in the browser section. Let's try to write a complex query on using these two tables. So we will join the two tables based on area and year and then have the resultant data set. Let's try it out. Select star from pesticides, left join rainfall, alias it as R and pesticides aliased as P. Then the join condition on P dot area equals to R dot area and P dot year equals to R dot year. Let's select the query again and run it. Control Enter or run query. Yes, this time we have the resultant data set using a join condition. So we have the required data, rainfall, average rainfall for each of the pesticides data. So we are now able to write complex queries on the data from two of the CSV files that we have. That's the objective of the tool. Another fantastic thing is, important thing is, we need to export the data sometime, the resultant data set. So in the under run we have export option. So you can export the data, output data into a file. So we name it output.xlsx and immediately it will appear in the desired location which we choose. So over here on the left hand side we can see the file appears. Now let's try to load one of the Excel files that we have in our repository. So it stores FIFA team information from 2015 to 2022. Let's open the file and check out how it is stored. So all the data are stored in multiple tabs in this case within the Excel file, which is a common phenomenon. So as you can see, there are multiple tabs, 15, 16, 17, 18 and so on, and in all these we have multiple information. So when we try to load this Excel into the tool, let's see what happens. We'll go to the tool, load the file, so over here only the CSV files are shown. That's because the file type has been selected as CSV. Change it to XLS or XLSX, whichever is the type of file that you are using. In our case it is XLSX. Select the file and click OK. OK. And then based on the data in the files, it might take some time. So yeah, over here we see FIFA 15 appears, which is the first tab of the Excel file. So first tab will be stored in a different table. So we have to name the table, which can be F15 for our case. Let's say, click OK. Data will be loaded into a table named F15. Based on the volume of the data, it might take a little bit of time. Table created, click OK. Next it goes on to FIFA 16, the next tab. So on it will load one by one tabs into a different table. So this time we have named it as F16. Table created, now goes on 17. So maybe we don't need to load all the table tab data into the tables. So in that case, all we need to do is click cancel, and we can avoid loading the data. So in our case, we have loaded 2 of the table tabs data, and we will just click cancel for the rest of them. So you can see tab 15 and tab 16 are being loaded. Now let's check the columns in these tables. On expanding, you see all the column names from the Excels are stored into the table. So the metadata of the Excel is copied. Now let's check the data in these tables, whether they are copied or not. So let's try select star from F16. Select the query and control enter, or run query from the above section. So here we have the data set. All the data is successfully loaded from the Excel. Each of the tabs is having different data, and the best part is now, if we need to copy one record, we can just double click on the record and it will be showing in a prompt. Also it is copied in the clipboard, so if you just control V over here in the canvas or in any other place, it will be copied. So let's do a control V. Over here you can see the data, the single record is copied, and the structure is column name and the corresponding value. So in a list format, column name value, column name value. This way the full record of the resultant data set is being copied. So this is a single record. Now talking about the best feature which we mentioned, it is open source, free, and the source code is available in GitHub. So you can just download it, customize it to your need, explore it, or experiment with it. That's it from our side. Thank you.